Hello everyone, I'm D-Mind, the mind of one and all, and welcome back to another episode of An Octave Higher. So in the last episode, Franz. Yes, Franz asked us to join Libertad, and I feel like this has to be a big decision, right? Unless, regardless of my choice, I would join him or not join him, then yeah, perhaps it wouldn't matter that much, but it has to be a big choice whether I join Libertad or not. Yeah. Also, since the last episode, I decided not, as I said when I got to this path, I did all the opposite decisions that I did throughout the game. I decided not to do that, and try to only make the choices that would get me this ending while keeping the rest same. So, yeah, the only decision I made that's different is I chose to not go to the theater with Arita and just go straight to the factory. And several choices at the end to make Frederic and Franz fight each other. Yeah. That's it. So yeah. Now, Franz asks us to join Libertad, and I think I've decided I wouldn't join Libertad. Yeah. Sorry man, but it just ain't happening. Having stared at his hand closely, I finally realized what has been wrong with his arm movement. His hands doesn't move at all. The wrists don't bend or rotate. The fingers are extended and stuck together, unmoving. Those are not real human hands. Did he lose his hands? Oh come on, can't you realize that it's Franz, he lost his hands? Had his hands been cut off from his arms? Could he be? Yes, he is! Are you? I await your answer for liberty, at least. And we're no longer at least we're Franz. I leave at least without hearing her answer. I could tell she was going to say no. Oh really? Huh. And what if I said yes? Hesitantly, I take Amadeus' hand. As soon as I touch his gloved hand, I realized why his arm movement has seemed off. His hand is too rigid, too stiff, like it was made of wood or plastic. It doesn't move at all. Looking at his other hand, I note that it too is rigid. Not even the fingers flinch. His hands are not real human hands. Did he lose his hands? Yep. Let's meet again here tomorrow at noon. Okay. For liberty at least. Oh, I see. Alright, so I actually do join Libertad. Oh damn, that's a big choice. Alright. I could tell she was going to say no. I've seen Alicia's magical ability. Her affinity with magic is excellent. Not to mention her ability to connect with people. Rallying the pools to our cause would be easier with Alice on our side. She would make an excellent Libertan. Oh well, it's a pity, but I still can't do this without Alice. I just love her to join our ranks if possible. It's as much about saving her as her saving the others. It's funny, at night the pool streets are seemingly more alive than the streets in the city. Some people stand outside their houses, huddled together, while drinking and talking and laughing. Noticing me walking closer, a man exclaims, "It's Amadeus!" The others turn their heads and their liveliness turns into cheerful excitement. Awakened by their shout of "Amadeus, Amadeus!" More people come out of their houses, but there's no discontent on their faces. As soon as I halt my steps, the people crowd around me. "Amadeus, one of your men came this afternoon and delivered mana potions." "Thank you very much, Amadeus. The potions were very helpful." "You're welcome, but the Libertans are not my men. They are my brethren, as are you all." A warm smile appears on everyone's face. "Thanks to the mana potions, we won't have to buy water anymore. We never knew that Eric was able to summon water that's clean enough to drink." Eric? Alicia's dad maybe? I don't know. The man who just spoke points to bashful young man next to him who is chuckling silently. Young man, okay, can't be Alicia's dad. I would assume he'd be somewhat old. Amadeus, look, my roof won't be leaking anymore because my son has repaired it using earth magic. He reinforced my house wall too. I don't have to worry about my house collapsing while I sleep anymore. And our rooms are brighter now thanks to Mary's illumination magic. We can finally say goodbye to the oil lamps. A teenage girl puffs out her chest and says boastfully, "Leave it to me." I'm glad that you found the mana potions useful. Just as I finished my sentence, I feel someone tugging lightly on my cloak. A jaunty and childish voice calls out, "Amadeus, Amadeus!" I turn around to see a little boy about 9 or 10 years old, with a grin that stretches from ear to ear. "Amadeus, look at me!" The little boy stands with his feet apart and his hands open inches away from his thighs. Faithfully, he looks up to the sky, starlight reflects on his glossy eyes. Transform faith. So he flies? The boy's body floats up into the air, slowly gaining altitude as he raises his arms up, trying to grasp the distant stars with his tiny hands. "Haha, I'm flying! Still looking up at the sky, the boy levitates higher and higher. His body is almost 20 feet above us at this point. It'd be funny if he just floats out and never comes down, just keeps floating up to space. His joyful laughter reminds me of the time when I first cast the levitation spell as a little boy. What man does not dream of soaring through the sky? The boy is now high enough to enter the building next to him, through its third-story window, but he keeps moving skyward. "Amadeus, are you watched?" The boy looks down at me, then suddenly falls silent. All his excitement is gone. He stares wide out at the ground with no open mouth. It's so high." "Calm down, don't panic." "I'm going to fall. Oh, I'm going to fall." "Oh, really?" The boy's arms and legs are fleeing as he desperately tries to push his body towards the building nearest to him, like a swimmer who struggled to reach the shore after his legs suddenly cramped. Luckily, he's able to grip the ledge of a window before he stops levitating. That's dumb. I'm sure someone there could use levitation magic or even willpower magic to decrease gravity so he can just like float gently down. Help me, I'm going to fall." With his magic power completely gone, the boy no longer floats. He's holding onto the window's ledge with all his strength. Try to calm down, breathe slowly. The boy tries to breathe, but he's anything but calm. Now cast the levitation spell again. I can't! You can? You just did it. I can't, I don't know how I did it. It's transform on faith, you can do it. No. In his panic, the boy has lost all faith in his own magic. He's unable to save himself. If he falls down, he won't walk away he won't walk away from it with just a scratch. In fact, a fall like that could kill him. Catch him then. I asked the people who are watching in horror, can anyone use the levitation spell? Everyone is silent. How about willpower? A man with trembling voice. I can, but I can't levitate something as heavy as a man's body. What about a little boy's body? Not at that distance. That's true, most magicians need to be close to their target to levitate an object, unless their magic is very strong. I know someone whose magic is strong enough to do that, but unfortunately he isn't here right now. Ji-xiang. Can't you open that window from inside? The owner isn't here at night, the door's locked. Of course it's not a house, what luck. The boy's shaking hands tell me that he won't be able to hold on for very long. Can't you save him? A man asks me, the others plead to me with hopeful gazes. That's right, I'm these people's savior, only I can save them. Seeing no other choice, I jump against his sturdy drain pipe and grip it with my arms. I can't use my artificial hands for gripping, so I use the crooks of my elbows to hold onto the drain pipe, kicking my feet to push my body up. The boy starts to wail loudly, his body trembling. My own body is shuddering as I put my left forearm onto the ledge and push down as hard as I can to pull my body up, careful not to slip. From below I hear sounds of people murmuring to each other. I continue to scale the wall, relying on 2 good feet, 2 forearms, and a lot of willpower to carry myself upwards. Ignoring the pain in my arms and shoulders, I drag my body up the wall. I can hear my teeth grinding. I'm now at the second story, halfway there. With my feet find footing on the window ledge, I take a deep breath before jumping and grabbing the top of the window with my elbows. Crooks, using the upward force of the jump to make pulling myself up easier. I wish I could have taken 4 or 5 more deep breaths, but the boy is almost out of breath himself. Ignoring the pain and exhaustion, I keep crawling up. Almost there, I can already touch the boy's foot if I extend my arm. Ha. Hang on, I almost got you. No, I can't. I can't hold on anymore. Wait just a little more. The boy's hands finally give way. And you grab in the last moment. He's falling from above me. No parts of his body are in contact with any parts of the building. In a flash, I plant my feet against the wall, let go of whatever my stumps are holding to, and kick backwards. Oh. I managed to catch the boy in midair, but now we are in free fall. At least the boy is safe because I'm holding him in my arms and shielding his body with mine. The fall may kill me, but he will survive. I guess this is it. The end of Amadeus. Oh well, not that it matters anyway. I'm pretty sure Ji Xiang is gonna save you. How many times have I wished for this? I thought my death would be more glorious than this, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. I feel as if I were falling in slow motion. Because you are? Maybe time does slow down the moment just before you die, as life gives you some extra time to lament hopelessly, struggling in vain to escape death, fearing how your consciousness will turn to nothingness. Joke's on you, life. I'm not afraid to die. Wait, something is wrong. I'm falling in slow motion. I feel a gust of wind on my back. It's blowing upwards from below, slowing down the fall. A wind that blows from the ground to the sky can't be natural. Someone is using a wind magic spell. I reorient myself until I'm in an upward position. The boy is still clutched tightly in my arms. A few seconds later, my feet touch the street. I release the boy and let him stand. The first thing I do once I've righted my posture is to look for the person who has just saved me. I don't have to wander long because I find her right away. Oh, her. And it's Jude. So, you can pretty much guess she became Libertan as well. Jude. Okay, I guess I thought it was gonna be Ji Xiang, but fine. The woman stares back at me disapprovingly. I was going to say something to her, but a cry from the little boy interrupts me. Thank you for saving me, Amadeus. I was so scared, I thought I was going to die. Why did you wait until we fell before you used your magic? I didn't use any magic. Huh? But... She saved us, not me. I make a gesture with my prosthetic hand toward the silent Jude beside me. The boy stares at her with puzzled eyes. You should thank her. Thank you, ma'am. You're welcome. The boy looks back at me again. Amadeus, why didn't you use your magic to save me? I gaze deep into the boy's still wet eyes for 2 seconds, then bring my face closer to his left ear and whisper. Because I can't use magic. Pulling my face away, I see confusion written all over the boy's face. Listen to me, son. Take very good care of your hands. Don't let anything bad happen to them. Don't ever lose your hands. Protect them. Your hands are your life. Your hands are your identity. They represent your place in society. They are what makes you human. It's better to lose your head than to lose your hands. The boy doesn't seem to understand what I'm saying, but that's okay. He will understand someday. I walk away, leaving the dumbfounded boy and the other people who are standing in amazement at what they've just seen. Let's go, Jude. Jude walks behind me. She looked a bit angry at me earlier. Jude and I amble along the muddy streets in silence, only occasionally speaking to greet some people while whiling away at the night outside their houses. The night is cold. It's already due December, but it seems winter isn't going away without a fight. Finally, we arrive at a small house in a small alley. Her house. Summon courage. Oh, Franz, you look very sickly. The dark and chill of the night are swept away by Jude's fire. The flickering flames and the sound of crackling wood coming from the hearth in front of me. Coming from the hearth comfort me. Warmness spreads throughout the room. What the warm feel fails to melt, however, is Jude's frosty stare. You should try smiling more often. Actually, Jude looks just curious, while you look terrible, Franz. You should try getting yourself killed less often. Her tone is sharp, but I can tell her heart's not in it. Yep, she's a bit mad that you did that. Would you rather the boy died? You know that's not what I meant. What would you have had me do then? I know. Jude's wistful stare penetrates the floor. At last the anger melts away from her face, revealing sorrow. Then there's no point worrying about it. She lifts her head again to look straight at me. You could have died. I know. I was prepared to. I'm always prepared. Well, I'm not. I'm not prepared to lose you. Are they a couple now? The anger and sorrow now blend together, marrying her lovely face. I wish I could make this face brighter, but there are more faces out there that need brightening. Brightening? That need brightening? Or is it brightening? I think they're a couple now. Are you going to just die after I save your life? Not without a purpose. As if a purpose would lessen my grief. I'll be careful, I promise. Do you? It wasn't really a question. Finally, Jude shies away her ire. Just don't die, okay? Now try not to. It must be maddening to hear my non-committal answer, but Jude doesn't pursue the matter. I understand her frustration though. Jude, how many times have you saved me? I don't know. She lost count a long time ago, just like I did. But I'll never forget the first time she saved my life. Yep. When your hands were chopped off. I had woken up in a strange room, my hands were gone. I stared blankly at the bandages wrapped around what was left of my forearms, wet and red with blood. The nasty stench of blood mingled with the smell of cheap disinfectant and the foul air inside the room. The dirty mattress was drenched with my sweat. Its cotton stuffing had long lost its firmness. But none of this bothered me. Not even the pain in my forearms, excruciating and agonizing as worse, bothered me. My eyes were still fixed at the empty air where my hands should have been. A plain-looking woman was beside me. Her lips open and closed, but I couldn't hear what she said. My hands were gone. Both of them, gone. My life as a magician was over. My future as a mage was over before it had even begun. And then I fainted again. Jude had found me lying unconscious on the street after my hands were cut off outside Maison de Beauvoir. She took me to her house and nursed me until I got better. Losing so much blood had brought me to the edge of death. I could only lie in bed day after day for weeks and weeks. Even after my arms had made some recovery, I still lacked the energy and the will to get up. The sight of Jude's healing was far more soothing than the life that awaited me outside. Outside was scary. What was a man to do without magic in this day and age? During this time, Jude took care of me like a mother took care of a baby. Like a mother took care of a baby, I guess. She changed my bandages, fed me, bathed me. Wow, she even bathed you. Helped me with every little thing that I could no longer do myself. It was shameful. I begged her to stop caring for me, to throw me into the sea, or to dump me among the garbage, to leave me in the junkyard to rot. Anything but suffer the humiliation of living the life of a man lower than any man. But Jude continued to care for me. She nursed me back to health until one day I got up. But life wasn't kind to me. There was nothing I could do without magic. I could even work in a factory. Even if you didn't have magic and still had your hands, it's kinda hard. Though it's not the end of the world, but you know. There's literally nothing I could do. I had entertained the idea of going back to the city to find my parents, or at least figure out a way to contact them, but I soon gave up on that idea. How could I show myself to my parents like this? A cripple incapable of, and had no hope of ever being capable of casting magic ever again? An inability to use magic is no different from a mental handicap. I couldn't burden my parents with my worthless life. It was better than they assumed I was dead. I was completely hopeless. If there is no magic, there is no hope. All I could do was sit on the side of the street and wait for a passerby's pity, but life in the post district is hard for everyone. No one had money to give to a mimsy man. who had nothing to contribute to society. On a good day, begging earned me enough to buy a small loaf of stale bread. In the end, I had to rely on Jude to provide for me, but Jude wasn't a wealthy bourgeoisie. No matter how hard she worked, factory labour only paid so much. She had barely enough money to feed herself. We shared what little food we had, enduring hunger most days. We shared murky water to weather the sizzling summer, and we shared shabby blankets to survive the dead of winter. And so now it was not only I who suffered. This woman who had saved me was made to suffer for my sake as well. Pathetic. I prayed to the gods to return my magic, but my magic never returned. I prayed to the gods to help me, but no help ever came. I screamed and bellowed and cried to the gods to save me, but they never did. Still I prayed. Each night before I fell asleep, I prayed to the gods. Don't wake me up tomorrow. But they never listened. As was the case with all my other prayers, this nightly prayer was never answered. Can you imagine waking up feeling dejected every morning? Because you're alive? Disappointed that you woke up, despite every effort not to? Curses, I'm still alive. That was my every morning. It still is, from time to time. I wish for relief. I wish for an end to my suffering, an end to a dream that would never be, an end to a false hope, an end to everything. I wanted to die. From time to time I thought of taking my own life. I imagined dying. I tried to figure out an easy and peaceful way to go out, preferably one that would inflict the least amount of pain. But I never tried, and not trying made me feel even more pitiful. I hated my life. I wanted it to end. I wished for the gods to take it from me, and I was too much of a coward to do it myself. Pathetic. But each time I saw Jude, I knew that I couldn't kill myself. I owed her too much. She'd been struggling every day so that I could live. If I threw away my life, I'd be belittling that battle she fought every day. I didn't want to disappoint her. And thus I drudged through misery upon misery, silent as life spat and shed on me, just so I didn't die. Yet I wasn't living, I was merely existing. And then one night, I was sitting and begging in a narrow alley as I always did, every day and night. People ignored me as usual, their faces heavy with the burden of their own lives. Having not earned a single coin, I decided to move to a further street near the city area. Oh, maybe more people would give me money over there. But before I stood up, I spotted something unusual. A nobleman wandering through the poor street. His aristocrat jacket glistened. Even when the street was lit only by oil lamps, he strutted haughtily through the alley. For a second I thought he was an aristocrat I knew. A man who had robbed me of my magic. But no, this man wasn't that man. Oh, you thought it was Frederic. I got up, dragged my feet, and stopped in front of this nobleman with my head hanging low. My lord, I pleaded in a low voice. Could you spare me some coins? I didn't know if the man was a lord, but I had come to calling any bourgeois and aristocrat my lord. Regardless, sometimes he appealed to their generosity. But apparently not this time. With my head still lower, I peeked at the man's face. His icy glare was mean and demeaning. Disgust colored his face as he studied my malnourished figure. Maybe it's Lord Godwin? And then his gaze travelled downward and found my arms. His eyes widened. The glare changed into curious stare. He stared silently for a few seconds before a wicked, derisive smile formed on his lips. Not long after, the smile changed into laughter. A loud drawn-out laughter that echoed throughout the alley. Satisfied, the aristocrat's face settled into a ridiculous smile. He asked in a conceited voice, "What are you doing in Overture with arms like that?" "If you can't use magic," the man continued, as hate creeped into his condescending tone, "you're just a liability, you're just taking up space. Your existence is wasteful. And yet you dare ask for money from me?" The nobleman burst into spiteful laughter again. "Go on your own money, scum. Oh wait, you can't, you're just a piece of garbage without magic." I felt small under his verbal abuse. I wanted to talk back, but I couldn't. Not when I knew that everything he said was true. But his words infuriated me. If only I had my hands, this man wouldn't be able to talk to me like this. If only I had my hands, this man wouldn't be able to walk home tonight. But then again, if I still had my hands, none of this would have happened. You know, I think about it. Maybe at least could somehow bring your hands back. I know, it's just a guess. I'm sorry was the only thing I could weakly say before turning and shuffling away. As I faced away from the man though, he kicked me hard on the back. Oh damn. I mean, ridiculing him is one thing, but you have to kick him. I fell forward hard. Dust flew up into my eyes when my cheek bounced off the pavement. The man pushed a foot into my back. He thundered at me. This is your place, you scums. Since you are no better than a cockroach, you should crawl like one. In fact, why don't you cut off those legs too to match your arms? He pressed down harder, straining to turn. I tried to get a glimpse of the man. He was stepping on my back with his right foot, while his other foot was rooted to the ground to the left of my waist. I placed both stumps of my wrist next to my head and with all my strength pushed myself up. Then as fast as I could manage, I swung my left leg at his left foot. I swept him off his feet and he crashed to the ground with a loud thud. I could hear by his yell that it was painful. I got up and ran, determined to flee as fast as I could. But no sooner had I begun to run than I sensed his willpower. Oh. I thought he was gonna make you fall to the ground by amplifying it, but oh. 2 steps ahead of me, the pavement rumbled and split, uncovering dirty soil from which a solid rock formation shot up and at me. I never expected the attack. The rock hit my chest and hard and sent me backwards. The pain was unbearable. I once again sprawled on the ground, though this time I lay on my back. You little piece of shit. The enraged man swaggered closer. I was going to let you go, but now I think I shouldn't let you live. You're just garbage anyway. The police wouldn't even bother to have you buried. He reached down and grabbed my shirt collar. I felt his willpower again. It reminded me of another arrogant aristocrat who also fought with willpower once upon a time. Nullify willpower. Oh, he's gonna make you fly. Gravity disappeared. The man swung his hand upward and effortlessly hauled me to the sky. My body only stopped going up after hitting the roof of a 3-story tall building. I didn't fall back down because there was no gravity to pull me back to Earth. The man's shout came from below. Do you like it up there? No? Well, by all means, I'll amplify gravity and get you back down here in a hurry. Even without the gravity amplified, falling from this height would kill a man without fail. Is this it? Are the gods finally granting my wish to die? But suddenly, at that very instant, I didn't want to die. Not like this. Not in the hands of some arrogant aristocrat prick. Especially if that man reminded me so much of that man. I looked around me for anything I could use to keep my imminent death at bay. And then I found something. The end of a hose was hanging off the edge of the nearby rooftop. I hooked onto it with my crippled arm. This would provide me a way to escape to the rooftop, which was the only sensible thing to do. But that's not what I did. I pulled on the hose and found its end. Nothing was attached to it. The water came out of the hose because gravity was nullified, but I could see some water inside. I aimed the hose at the aristocrat. Amplify! The man roared. Sensing the return of gravity, much stronger than it was before it vanished, I squeezed the tip of the hose between my bandaged stumps. Okay, you shot at him. Why does that look like there's red over there? Is that fire? The water inside the hose roared to life in the newly amplified gravity. It spurted out the hose in a thin but strong jet of water, shooting straight at the aristocrat. The water jet moved at deadly speed. It covered the distance to the magician faster than my eyes could follow. When it shot the man, he recoiled as if stung by a bee and then collapsed. The sudden impact instantly stopped his heartbeat. What? You killed him? With his life gone, so too was his magic. Gravity returned to normal. You just killed him with a jet of water? Wow. I held on to the hose using the crooks of my elbow as tightly as possible. The short time the gravity was amplified had accelerated my fall, but holding on to the hose stopped me from hitting the ground. After I righted my posture, I could only stand in silence. My mind was blank. I was saved. I had killed the man. My eyes found the body lying still in the alleyway. I just stared at it, waiting for him to come to. I couldn't look away. I couldn't blink. But he certainly did. His mouth was agape. His eyes were open as wide as the gates of hell that he had by now no doubt been welcomed into. His arrogance too was gone. The aristocratic face, now as hideous as any mentioned death, spelled horror. Death. My lips twitched, a frantic sound of breathing escaped my already gaping mouth. Then laughter followed it. What? A year's worth of laughter. Oh wow. So Franz became... Well, Franz not became, but held a deep... Yeah, he held a grudge for 1 whole year and then he became the person he is today. Wow. So basically we're getting Franz back to his story into how he became the leader of Libertad. Alright, but I think this is a good place to end it. So, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at DMindGaming if you have enjoyed. And I hope to see you again in the next episode.